How you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Pasquinelli's Point. Do me a favor, guys. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And do not forget to hit the bell so you can get a notification every time we make a video. Alright, let's get to the point. So today I want to talk about Power. Show on Stars, written by 50 Cent. So, what is Power about? Power is about James St. Patrick, also known as Ghost, and his best friend, brother, Tommy Egan. James St. Patrick is the owner of a nightclub called Truth, where he launders his drug money. But he's trying to get out of the dope game, and he can't figure out a way to do it. So, not only is that going on, but he sees a old flame from high school who's a U.S. attorney. Her name is Angela Valdez. He starts an affair with her while he's in the middle of a marriage with another woman named Tasha St. Patrick. So those are pretty much the four main characters. But the main thing about it is that his internal struggle of trying to get out of the drug game. He has people pulling him in the right direction and people like his wife and best friend pulling him in the wrong direction, and he can't just seem to figure out what's going on. It's like people are trying to hold him back. There's a lot of sex, drugs, violence, and it's all about the money, baby. So let's talk about a few of my favorite characters. Obviously, one of the number one favorite characters I have is Ghost. I mean, that's who the show is mainly about. Ghost is ruthless. Ghost is someone who only cares about himself and no one else. How he can get the money, how he can stop the next person to come up and steal his territory, where he can get more drugs from to sell more. That is why I like Ghost. It's always about him trying to figure out what's best for him, not about let me help my buddy Tommy or let me help my wife and kids and this and that. It's all about him being the best at what he does, whether it's the drug game or owning a bunch of nightclubs and starting a franchise. Now, my number one favorite character is Tommy Egan. Tommy Egan is a psychopath. He's one of those guys on a TV show that it doesn't matter what happens, he'll murder somebody. He's a hothead. He'll flip his lid in a second. It doesn't take him long at all. You can watch him on screen and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to turn around and kill this person or if he's just going to let him walk away. And that is, to me, the brilliance of Tommy's character. There's another character named Andre Coleman. I really enjoyed his character because the acting was so good. He made you hate him. You wanted him to die. You wanted Ghost to catch him. You wanted Tommy to get to him. And that is why I like his character so much, because you love to hate him. One of my other favorite characters is Kanan, and that is played by 50 Cent. And he's another guy who's ruthless. He'll step on anybody's head to get somewhere, and he's the double-crossing master. He'll double-cross you and you at the same time to get you to fight each other. That's what I liked about Kanan. He had a pretty short run, it felt like, on the series.
Stay down!
Gun!
I have two characters, though, that I really didn't care for. One being Tasha St. Patrick, Ghost's wife, just because she acted like she knew everything about the drug game and trying to control Ghost, and it just didn't seem right. Like she didn't really know what was going on. I wasn't a big fan of her character.
Get off me! Get off!
I also wasn't a big fan of Ghost's son, Tariq. I just think he's not that great of an actor. There's scenes in it where it's like it's almost forced what he's trying to do. You know, his emotion. He's not really mad. He's not really sad. He's kind of a punk. Not really a fan of his character.
Put your hands on Mom. One more time. And I swear to God, I'll murder you myself.
So, I do want to talk about season 6 and what happened in season 6, and not a whole lot, but within the first 10 episodes, Tommy kills Angela. In front of Ghost, which causes a lot of animosity between Ghost and Tommy. They basically start to hate each other. I believe there's one point where Ghost says,
"You're right. We're not boys, but we are brothers."
So it still shows that they do care about each other, but they can't really work together anymore. Tommy shoots up Ghost's penthouse to kill Ghost's lawyer, Joe Proctor.
What are you doing here?
You rat piece of shit!
That scene is ridiculous. If you haven't watched Power at all, watch that scene. Watch that scene, I bet you want to watch Power. I can almost guarantee you. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Tasha kills Lakeisha. Lakeisha was Tommy's girlfriend at the time. And that kind of caused a rift between Ghost and Tommy, because Tommy thinks that Ghost did it until later on where he finds out the truth. But yeah, that caused a big rift between Tommy and Ghost. The mid-season finale, Ghost gets shot in the chest.
They say it's a big rich town.
So, my favorite part of the whole season is how they did the last 5 episodes. They were split between different people's points of view. So, you have Andre Coleman, you have Tommy, you have Councilman Tate, Paz, which is Angela's sister, and Tasha and Tariq. And I liked how all the episodes were tied together. Like, you would see something in the first episode, and then in the third episode, it would be from a different person's point of view. And I really enjoy shows and movies that kind of tie all that stuff together in at the end. And I really enjoyed those last 5 episodes. So, some of the things that happened in the last 5 episodes, maybe I should give a spoiler alert just in case everybody's not caught up. So spoiler alert right now here in this video at this time. If you want to skip ahead, I will put the timestamp in there so you guys can jump forward and see what else I have to talk about. So, Dre gets burned alive while he's in jail. And that was unbelievable just because it looked so real and there's nothing he could do to get out of there. He was in his jail cell in like solitary. I thought that was excellent. To me, the episode with Paz, it was very slow. It kind of really didn't get me into the whole overarching narrative until the very end of the episode, because that's kind of how they tied it in. So to me, it was just like, it's all right. I get what they're doing. They're trying to show how she's dealing with her sister's death. The best episode of the season by far to me was Tommy Egan's episode. I mean, there's just so much action, so much violence, so many things that he's trying to piece together to figure out what's going on. There's a scene in it where Tommy goes to Tasha's apartment. To talk to her because he finds out that Tasha was the one that killed Lakeisha. In that scene right there, I expected Tommy to kill her. And maybe it's just me because, well, obviously, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Tasha. But Tommy's character, he's so crazy and psychotic, and he'll just do whatever he wants whenever he wants to do it. I just thought that was what was going to happen because it would throw everybody off, but unfortunately it didn't. I thought it would have been a little cooler to see that, but I digress. There is a scene where the Italians try and kill Tommy in the middle of the street, and Tommy goes ape shit wild on these guys. I mean, some of the stuff that he does and the moves he makes, and check out that scene also. That's another good scene I would recommend checking out. At the very end of the episode, Tommy comes to Truth, the nightclub, to see Ghost, and he sees Ghost lying on the ground, bleeding out.
Hey, brother, you're gonna be all right. You hang in there for me, all right?
Come on, you've been through worse than this. I don't know about this time.
Yeah, this time.
Get a very emotional part, and he looks up and he sees the killer, and he says, "You," and then that's it. Ghost says, "Let them go," but you don't see who it is yet. Councilman Tate's episode was basically about his fall from grace. It was not as bad as Paz's episode, but it was decent. The very last episode and the series finale was about Tariq and Tasha and how they want to stop Ghost. What you see in that episode is you see a son who hates his father so much that he murders him. Ghost gets shot by Tariq after they have a conversation on the balcony of Truth.
No! What have you done?
Which that whole scene is very impactful to me. When they go to read the will, Tasha gets absolutely nothing. Ghost leaves her not a cent, not the nightclub, not the penthouse, none of it.
Truth and the watch collection, you do not inherit.
So it all goes to his kids. Tariq gets 2/3 and his other daughter gets 1/3. The only way Tariq can get his money and any of that property...
You don't inherit right away. All of your money is held in trust until you complete a 4-year degree from a university. What?
That's like Ghost saying, F you, one last time, I still get what I want. Almost as if he knew that he was going to get killed by his wife and son. And that's crazy. Why would he do, why would he take his wife out of the will? That's kind of crazy to me. And at the very end, Tasha takes the fall for a murder. She goes to jail.
Your mother under arrest.
No,
Tasha Green St. Patrick, you're under arrest for the murder of James St. Patrick.
She didn't do it. She didn't.
Go to school.
Mom, tell me.
So my thoughts on the series as a whole, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's a fun watch. What I think is it's got violence and action and drugs, all for the guys. That's a huge guy, audience you're bringing in with that. But then it's also got the love and the sex for the women. So you put those two together, and you gotta show that you and your girlfriend might want to watch, you and your wife. Me and my wife love it. We enjoyed it. It was great. I would personally give the series an 8 out of 10. The last season to me was really good. Besides the 2 episodes of Paz and Tate, I just thought were okay. Everything else in the show I really enjoyed. The show's probably not for everybody, but like I said, check out those 2 clips. Tommy shooting up Ghost Penthouse to kill Proctor, and also Tommy getting attacked by the Italians in the road. Those 2 scenes are excellent. You might start watching it. Also, what I found out is there's going to be some spin-offs. Power Book 2, Ghost, and it basically takes place 48 hours after Ghost dies, with Mary J. Blige and Method Man in it. And then there's also Tasha and Tariq are also in it. There's Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. More than likely, I'm guessing that's about Kanan's either his rise to power or Kanan growing up in the streets. Power Book 4 is called Influence. We don't really know too much about that. Power Book 5 is called Force. I don't really know too much about that. But what I do know is Tommy Egan is going to get his own spin-off, because at the very end of his episode, he drives away and he leaves New York to go to California to start a new drug gang, drug kingpin. You know, he knows a guy out there. So
You really want to know? Come on, now you know you gotta tell me. All right, I'll tell you, but then I gotta kill you. California.
I'm looking forward to that. That should be pretty interesting. That's my thoughts on Power. So the video's over, guys. But don't worry, we'll see you next week. And like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light city life, I gotta make